Hey guys, welcome to the Nuance. I'm Ian, and we are here for the penultimate episode of Superman and Lois. Okay, guys, second last episode for the season, and since the last episode, have been confirmed that we're coming back for season 4. Sadly, if things stay as they are, it seems that I can't remember the actor's name and I feel bad, but the actor playing Sam is not going to be coming back, which really sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like Sam's character. Like it's just a refreshing take on General Lane, considering he's always been antagonistic towards Superman, or just heroes in general, or vigilantes, however he wants to call them. But yeah, last episode we did end with Lois went through the surgery. She's in recovery now. Mannheim, well, he sadly died. I felt really bad for. I actually feel pretty bad for Mannheim, and also definitely for Mateo. But Mannheim has elected to basically give up everything, tell them all that they have, all that they know, all the lies that they had, to basically clear Mateo. Which means more than likely. That's pretty. I mean, you can't keep Lex Luthor in prison for a crime he didn't commit, especially if the ones who actually committed it comes clean. So, while he didn't directly do it, he was involved. So, and he can corroborate. So, anyway. So, yeah, Lex Luthor's probably going to get out. So, that kind of sucks. But also very interesting because I'm curious to see what this Lex Luthor. Pretty sure it's not going to be John Cryer. Kind of sad about that. But, it's a different world and whatnot. As weird as it kind of seems sometimes. And then Bizarro. So there's probably gonna be some kind of weird tie-in with Bizarro and Lex Luthor. Maybe Lex is probably gonna help stop Bizarro or something, and then leads to him whatever his plan is gonna be for the next season. So it's probably gonna be a Lex Luthor centered season next year. So both excited and worried for that.
Healing is a full-time job. And throughout the process, you're never quite yourself. But at some point, you have to decide that who you are now is gonna have to be enough. There's still no update. Luthor's legal team has had Bruno's confession for weeks. I thought for sure we'd know something by now.
Those bullet holes? There's a huskier looking Lex, it seems. Not huskier, but beefier. Whoa.
Gather my things. I'm a free man.
Oh, God. Oh, no. I mean, we knew it was going to happen, but oh, no.
I mean, he had goggles on, some sort of weird hoodie.
Goggles? You didn't say anything before about goggles.
Probably just to hide their identity.
He was.
You're such a joke.
Maybe there is someone out there our age. If so, guy's a total badass, right?
What, goggles though? I can't get past that. Goggles.
Has Christy organized all the Luthor files?
You heard anything about this?
Not really. Did one of the teenagers get in touch with you?
Yeah, this story feels huge. And since you're the first person to report on Superman, I was hoping I could pick your brain.
Sure. What do you
If
need
we
to
don't,
know?
we need to control the story. His daughter? Okay. More like a biker Lex feel. Jesus.
Hey, Ken. Got my sandwich.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I ordered it.
Well, it's not in there, so you need to go back and get it.
Nah, just let the kid finish his meal, huh?
Screw that, you messed up my order.
No, it's okay. I'll get it.
No. I said we're gonna let the kid finish his meal, Park. All right, and just so we're all clear, I'm not a fan of this hazing crap.
Whatever. Screw this.
Yeah, you're done for the day. Go on. All right, I'll talk to him over his next shift, but you just keep doing what you're doing. Make your old man proud, huh?
Ugh.
Usually I can cover our tracks. Wipe a photo here, discredit.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you.
I don't mean to intrude. I saw your car out front. Hi, Sam.
Afternoon, Mayor. I've been meaning to follow up. See if you made it back out onto the dating circuit.
Haven't quite mustered the nerve, you?
Still working on it.
Thank you. You guys, I'm sorry to just show up and drop this on you.
$5, and I'll let you keep your cell. You can keep your teeth. And maybe you can still walk.
Yeah,
Should
there's.
have taken my offer.
Ugh. Yep, not liking that.
Great. So now I'm in trouble because my ex-girlfriend can't handle reality.
You are in trouble because you're not being responsible. If you're not careful, this could ruin your life.
That's a little dramatic.
Your behavior is a massive red flag, young man.
All I said was that whoever saved Sarah and Junior did an awesome job. Because I did.
All right, enough. John's the kind of kid who wants to earn his own spot. You know, be judged on his efforts and no one else's, especially mine.
Yeah, point taken. I'll handle it.
Thanks. Lois and I really appreciate what you're doing, Kyle.
Too much, though,
John
or-
loves being here.
I'm happy I can help.
That's my home number.
Dad, help me. They're gonna kill me if you don't do what he says.
Jeffrey. Think I should tell my man to stop?
He gave them an offer.
No. We're gonna be here a while.
Jesus. He's definitely more brutal ex than I've seen so far.
That's a tornado warning.
A Bizarro? Or an actual tornado? Or something to do with Lex? That's... Don't you kill him. I swear to God, if they kill him this way, I'm gonna be so pissed off. I don't want to die at all. Just let him retire again. Jordan, your face! Damn it, Jordan, don't take it. I mean, well, maybe take it for now, but because otherwise it might get tossed somewhere. Okay, get up, get up. Oh, god dang it, Jordan.
Hiding who I am, telling me who I should be. I can't do it anymore.
As long as you live under this roof, you will do what your mother and I tell you to do.
Whatever.
Jordan?
Great!
You go up to your room, and you do not come out until we tell you to. And don't you ever do that to me again.
You gotta rein him in. He's not as careful as you are, Clark.
If he's not gonna stop using his powers, we need to keep him busy doing something else.
The more we push back, the more he's gonna defy us. He's just at that stage right now.
Lex ever show up at Luther Corps? He's here.
What? Like I said, I was gonna have to face him at some point. Guess now's as good a time as any.
Please tell me he doesn't know.
Been a long time. Lots changed since I went away. You got pregnant. Had kids. Twins are what, 16 now?
You and I are not discussing my children.
What about your cancer?
I got it wrong, and I'm sorry.
I was innocent! 17 years of my life gone! And you think I want words? My daughter, she was 14. Now she won't talk to me. Do you think your words can fix that?
That's enough.
Shut your mouth!
I was wrong about what happened to Moxie. But I wasn't wrong about what you are.
It's easy to be brave with Superman and the DOD watching out for you.
You need to leave. Now.
Lifelong enemies threatening his
Tell
wife.
Superman he's next.
Something all right?
Using somebody as a seat?
Just needed to adjust my chair. I'll have my
Jesus
usual.
Christ.
Jordan told me what Luther said.
You know, you really shouldn't be listening in on us.
No, except maybe when someone is threatening to kill our parents.
That's not what he said, exactly.
Well, it sure sounded like it.
Listen, we knew Luther was going to be a problem once he was released. What's important now is that we're ready for whatever he's planning.
Okay.
Be ready.
Is he gonna know about the yellow kryptonite? Or X kryptonite? Oh, God.
How do you want to approach?
Well, Otis is gone. Jesus. Like that's kind of what he had him planned for. You know, just as a meat shield, really. Jesus Christ. You know, I was expecting Otis to last a little bit longer than 2 seconds. Jesus. Pretty sure he's dead. I don't think... Man, I don't know. I'm gonna say right now he's dead. Man, what a way to go. Brutal, man. Good lord. Speaking of brutal, Lex is much... I mean, he's always had a brutality to him. In the iterations I've seen... I don't know, I haven't read all the comics, obviously, so there's that. So there could have been iteration, there could be versions of him in the comics that are a bit more gruesome. Granted, he wasn't doing the beating himself, but I mean, in the one, what was it called? It was I can't remember exactly what it's called. Death of Superman. It's not the one that recently came out. It's a little bit older, with Doomsday. I think it might have just been called Doomsday. I don't remember. Anyway, regardless, I know when he made a Superman, he put him in like a freaking Red Sun room and then started beating him because he's freaking weird. He has a complex. But regardless of that, yeah, I mean, the point where he's calling, or he's threatening this the warden's family. Whew. I don't know if his wife's gone, like she's gone, and just left the son, like to let him know that he's serious. Like, okay, I took one, there's one more I can take. I don't know if that's the case. I hope not, for the warden's sake. But yeah, just had them beating on the guy, and then he used the guy as a seat. I don't know if it was the same guy, but he used a guy as a seat. Like my guy. That is... I mean, we've seen Kingpin. Kingpin never really used... Like, Lex... I was gonna say, okay. So, Kingpin obviously had this, like, you know, kind of gentlemanly quality to him, if you will, in a sense, you know. And in a way, Lex had that as well, you know, had the glass of wine, had, like, the table set up. But then using somebody as a seat, I don't think Kingpin did that. Yeah, this Lex is just a bit more. I don't want to say unhinged, but he has less limits, I guess, or it's hard to say because like Lex Luthor as a character, he doesn't really do limits per se. Like he'll do whatever it takes, but like I haven't particularly personally seen this kind of Lex. Kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. I've liked what I've seen so far. I mean, I hate it, but the actor does a great job. I haven't seen him in anything. And I feel bad. I'm pretty sure people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's this guy!" And I'm like, "How do you not know this guy?" I'm sorry, I just don't know him. I haven't seen other stuff he's in. This is the first thing I've seen him in. But yeah, he's going a little more like, gritty biker gang-esque looking, theme in a way. Like he's got, there's the beer, but there's also like the grittiness, like the gruffness that like he's again, like I said before, he's beefier. And like the music they use for him is a lot more less formal than I would kind of. That's I don't get necessarily the exact, like, I don't exactly get a formal feel from this Lex Luthor, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it's just different. The fact that he straight up just walked to the Kent's farm. I was a little worried for a second that he knew that Clark was Superman. I was like, oh god, please don't make this the one story where he, knows the difference, that he sees past the glasses, or he, found out some other way. But no, he still doesn't know, with Clark being inches from him, that he's Superman. Now, normally, the thing is with Clark, when he's got the glasses on, he's also got the personality and like the persona. Like, he doesn't necessarily slouch in this one per se, but he gives off a different vibe. And in this one, whenever Lex, like, he's threatening Lois, and Lex and Clark like steps up between them, and he, you could see the anger, and I would think that he would recognize the anger he probably sees in Superman, that they've probably, been, a couple feet from each other, trying to stare each other down. So, it's fine. It's what it is. What it is. It's the lore of the character. He's got the glasses on. You don't recognize him. But yeah. So he's there threatening Lois to either retire, or he will be back. I don't know what the time frame. He didn't necessarily give a time frame. But that's worrisome. So we only one episode left, which is so the next episode is that's it. I don't know. I mean, they're obviously going to be like teeing up whatever's going to be happening next season, but like, I don't know what the culmination of this is supposed to be, because we've been having the buildup of like Clark training Jordan, him getting better at his abilities. They're kind of bonding with that. And now it's gotten to the point where Jordan is doing it for the attention, which is like, one, he's a teenage boy. It's gonna happen. It's not surprising that the attention's getting to him. Clark didn't start doing the Superman thing until he was an adult, so it's like he had a little bit more time to mature and focus more on the rescuing people aspect rather than rescuing people for the attention. And I hated that scene. Like, it was very, you could see it affected Clark in a couple different ways. Like, it was obviously the anger and like the shock of just like, my son just batted me away. And stepped up to me. Like, that's not good. There's that, but there's also the hurt. Like, maybe I wasn't seeing, or I was sorry, it's in my eye. Maybe I was mistaken, but like, I felt like he was fighting back tears in a way, or just like the emotion of like, that's not what my son's normally like. It's like, he's going a different, he's going into a phase, as Lois said, he's in that phase of just like, as much as they push, he's gonna defy. There's just the way that it's a mixture of the way you handle it, and also they're just in that, they're in that phase, unfortunately. Like, it's not, every teenager does it, but like, it's more often. And then again, yeah, it's unfortunately, when you try to rein that in, they're gonna buck at it. So it just sucks, man, because like, he's a good kid. It's just finally having, like, he's been dealing with being looked down on for a good majority of his life, and now he has these. I know he's had them for like, well, I don't know if it's been 3 years, because the time frame of this is a bit wonky, of like each season and like the gaps between each season, but he's had these powers for a little bit now. But it's like, he can, now that the persona itself that that the powers have, like, now that this Superboy is public, before it went public, but when he had the chance to go public, when he had the chance to garner attention, to be looked up to instead of made fun of, and constantly looked down on, even though since joining the football team, that kind of sort of went down a bit, but it's just like, this is just so much more, like, so much more, and so it's gonna appeal to him, unfortunately. I mean, a little, like, wanting the attention isn't necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people, I am hesitant to say everybody, but wants, to an extent, attention. It's just the positive affirmation. You do something good and getting the acknowledgement of your good deeds. While we'd like to think that, or that we don't need that, sometimes getting that, all of a sudden, it's just like kind of like a rush. And again, for someone like Jordan, who didn't have that a lot, at least from like his peers, from those his age. Yeah, this is new to him, and he's gonna want a lot of it, as much as he can. It's just, I don't know. Can't, not to alleviate him of what he's doing, but that's just, it's not unrealistic, and in the way he's going. And I do see that I don't know. I just don't know where that's gonna be going this season. Like, it's gonna end with him and Jonathan, because they're also focusing on that too. Like, they're kind of sort of babying Jonathan as well. Like, are they gonna try to move out? Are they gonna go to Metropolis or something? I mean, I don't know. I mean, where else would they? They don't have any money. They can't really live on their own. Are they gonna go live with somebody else? Are they gonna live with maybe Candace? Or, because I mean, another thing is that I found out, which is sad, that possibly in and I can't remember her name. The actress that plays Sarah and Lana, they're not going to be. I don't believe. I could be wrong, but either there's a chance or it's been confirmed that they're not going to be returning next season either. And maybe Kyle and Chrissy. So I don't know. I hate to see so many of the characters go, but like, you know, they're with the whole cutbacks and everything, they're not wanting to cut back on the quality of the show. They have to cut back somewhere, and unfortunately that is on actors. And while Sarah, Lana, Kyle, Chrissy don't necessarily they don't add necessarily to Superman and Lois, the show, you know, like, I don't know. I know a lot of people also, or I don't know if it's a lot of people, but I know some people are like, aren't always like too interested in like the Lana and Sarah, Kyle and Chrissy, and just, you know, all that in between, but those guys. And I end that into their story all that much, so like, that's gonna be the stuff they're gonna snip, you know, the stuff that people aren't as interested in, they're gonna cut that out. Focus on the other stuff, seeing as it's gonna be like a 10-episode season apparently. Unless they, you know, get updated regarding that. You know, they know they're going to have a 10-episode season. So, you know, less time for those kind of things as well. And they can just tell more concise story. But I'm still going to miss the characters. Like, again, I remember looking back at season 1 and Kyle, obviously in the beginning, did not like him. But I really grown to enjoy his character and like his growth in this. So I don't know, and Sam especially. I mean, Sam, come on, I love Sam so much. Again, I've mentioned it before, but like, I love this character of Sam so much, and it sucks that he's gonna be leaving the show. The one Sam Lane that I really enjoyed, like off the bat, pretty much. Like, yeah, he was, he had some spots where it's like, okay, grading a little bit, but like, overall, a really good guy. And less antagonistic than other Sam Lanes have been. The one in Smallville came around eventually, but took some time. I do, I feel terrible for Lois. Like, we knew that it was going to be a process, and the healing is going to take time. But again, there's like I'm pretty sure we've mentioned it before, and they've mentioned it in previous episodes. Like, getting her confidence it's gonna take some time. Like, probably more than the healing itself. Like, it's physically altered her body. Like, whether or not that matters, it affects her. It matters to her. Like, and when I say whether or not it matters, I just mean like as her husband, Clark, it doesn't affect how he feels about her. He still, thinks she's beautiful, still loves her. Nothing about that has changed. But it's how she feels. It's like that's the main issue that needs to be dealt with, and it's just not. That's not an easy thing to tackle. Like, the physical healing is always easier than the psychological, and it's just gonna take time. Even though she braced herself for it, like, it's still gonna, still gonna affect her. Still gonna take some of time to. I don't want to say get over it, but like to feel good about herself, about how she looks. I was a little worried too, though, whenever Lex came in and saying, "Crazy, strange how that worked out. You getting cancer led to Mannheim, led to figuring this out, blah, 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 blah." And I was a little worried. It was like, Lex, did you somehow, give the cancer to Lois? But, I don't think that's the case. But for a moment, the way he was, like, talking, I was like, don't you dare be the cause of this. I will be so upset. They're going to be livid. Clark will, the whole struggle with not killing thing, he's going to be pushed to that limit if that were the case. Like, it might be the whole, injustice scenario. Which Lois said, which made me a little nervous when she said that. So, but, injustice in a Superman, setting. It just kind of puts me on edge sometimes, I hope, before the season ends, at least. Because again, Sarah's character might not be in the show next season. I hope that Jordan can see where he hurt her and why, his secret keeping it affected her, and now all of a sudden him just flaunting it after she's gone through so much and done and she's lied to people that she's cared about and Junior, that it's affected her life a bit, and he's not taking that into consideration, like the point where he's like, wow, it's crazy how you made this all about you, or however he said it, but it's like, dude, it's affecting her, my guy. You're not paying attention at all. Like, that's the problem with, being so fixated on the attention, and being a teenager sucks. Like, it's not an excuse. Like, even being grown up about it, like when you're even when you're older, you can make that mistake. But like, it's just that I feel at that age, it's so much easier to fall into that trap and more common. I hope that they can mend that, at least in terms of him acknowledging her feelings and acknowledging how it affected her. Apologizing for how he was treating her. I don't know. I just don't want it to. I don't know how they're gonna deal with it. There was that interesting thing with Sam and Lana. Where he goes like Miss Mayer, and they're kind of there, asking her about if she's gotten to the dating scene yet, and I don't know. They're not gonna make them a thing, are they? I mean, he's a bit older. I'm going to say maybe 20 to 30 years older. I don't know. It felt a little strange, especially also then there was that weird look that Clark, I don't know if Lois did as well, but I know, but one of them had a look throughout that, and then it was done. So I don't know. That felt a little strange. So I know they had that interaction when Sam missed his date before, and I thought that it was just them, helping each other out, which it probably was. And then come to hear though, in this scene, in this episode, it was I got a different vibe, and I don't know if I'm seeing something that's not there, or I don't know. It seemed odd. And then of course there was a scene where the stuff with Kyle and Jonathan, and then involving Clark inadvertently. Kyle was definitely showing a bit of favor. That dude was being kind of a douche about it, I will say. Like, bro, chill out. Don't give the kid a hard time. Let him eat real quick, or at least, I don't know. I feel like that was definitely a bit much on his part, but the Kyle's like, I'm not a fan of this hazing thing. Since when? You were kind of in on it. You were hard on him about it before as well, like with the whole cleaning and everything. You were hazing him in the beginning. So I don't know, that was, I get that, and he wants to, he doesn't worried that, Superman's gonna think or come down on him for being too hard on his son, or, he wants to impress Superman or whatever. But then Jonathan brings that up, not to Clark, but then, they go on about it. Jordan's actually the one that spattered it off. John's like, that's not what I said, blah, blah, blah. Then one thing led to another. And I don't know, Kyle seemed, I think he handled it well, though. I mean, I was a little worried that he was going to get on Jonathan's case about it, but then there was this is what it seemed from my end. Let's just try, if you have an issue, come to me about it, and we'll deal with it. So I like the way Kyle handled it. I was a little worried they were going to make him go a little too hard on Jonathan, which they might still do. There's one more episode. I don't know if they're going to use the finale for that, but whatever. But there is that. But yeah, I was a little worried about that, but I'm glad Kyle seems to be okay. I don't know. I think it was more so just to kind of show Jonathan that, Clark. I mean, here's the thing. It wasn't like, hey, it would have been. I feel like it'd be worse if Clark went to Kyle and was like, hey, can you take it easy on my son? But this one was like, hey, forget I'm Superman when my son's around. Don't just treat him normal. I don't want him. He doesn't want special treatment. He wants to, build on his own merit and everything. I understand he would have wanted to handle it himself. So I think that was where Jonathan was going with, like, they're treating him like a baby. Like, they're handling my problems for me instead of letting me deal with it. But I mean, again, it could have been the opposite where they were trying, Clark's trying to get Kyle to, like, ease up, but it was not the case. He was like, hey, my son wants to do things on his own. He doesn't want to, live off of my name. So, I mean, I get it. It's just, I'm just glad Kyle didn't, go the opposite way with that. But yeah, so Otis probably dead. Had him for but an episode, not even. Got the Bizarro situation. I don't know what Lex is planning to do there. Maybe use him against Lois. There's not really a way that you can, frame Superman. He looks nothing like Superman. They know of the Bizarro people. His powers are different. So even if he somehow made him up to look differently, he's got freezing vision, fire breath. So not sure what the whole situation is there. I don't know how much information he has about this Bizarro Superman. If he knew about the Bizarro stuff, if the people in prison got that information, like when everything was going. I mean, I would have to assume because everything was affected as well, and they might have been like they're in Bizarro inmate cells or Bizarro cells, or I don't know. They might have been in different places, so they may not have been in prison. So maybe they didn't get. There had to be like a chance. There's at least one person that would have been like there. Would have been in there. So I don't know. I have no idea. Regardless, I don't know how much he knows about Bizarro. If he knows, like, hey, Kryptonite won't work against this guy, but this stuff called X-Kryptonite, that works against him. I don't know if he knows that. Oh god, there's so much to happen in this next episode, the finale. The finale's next week. Jesus. Guys, that is it for this week's episode of Superman and Lois. This is the penultimate episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to stick around for the finale next week, so yeah, subscribe. Stick around for and be alerted whenever that comes out. Sorry, excuse me, Jesus. The finale coming up has apparently got me all tongue-tied.